Hi everybody, in the last several videos we've been talking about Dr. Bredesen's RECODE protocol for reversal of cognitive decline, which has been a crucial program for my dad. Dr. Bredesen's team has helped hundreds of people reverse their cognitive decline, establish mild cognitive impairment, and Alzheimer's disease with this protocol as evidenced in successful studies in 2014, 2018, 2022, and current clinical trials. On episodes 48, 55, 60, 62, and 68, we dove into Dr. Bredesen's anti-Alzheimer's diet, also known as KetoFlex 12-3. You can find an introductory brief overview on this diet on episode 16, which I'll be linking in the description box below. In these last episodes, we specifically talked about how central insulin resistance is to cognitive decline and how nutritional ketosis and fasting have proven to be powerful tools in reversing it. Recap. RECODE has multiple modes of treatment, but Dr. Bredesen's core four major areas are DESS, diet, exercise, sleep, and stress reduction. These four make the biggest difference in helping prevent and reverse Alzheimer's and cognitive decline because they have such a profound effect on greatly helping prevent and reverse insulin resistance and promoting insulin sensitivity. Dr. Bredesen's team has found that patients that have the best results in the protocol all restored or improved their insulin sensitivity. Insulin resistance has recently exploded in our population. Overconsumption of highly refined carbohydrates has led to an unnatural transition from burning both fat and carbs for energy toward exclusively burning only glucose for fuel. As glucose markers increase and a loss of sensitivity to insulin develops, just like in type 2 diabetes, the brain's ability to access the glucose it needs drops. As the insulin resistance increases, this leads to a fuel deficiency in the brain. Less energy to go around for neurons means downsizing of function, and lowered insulin response is a massive driver of cognitive decline. This is why Alzheimer's disease is more and more being referred to as type 3 diabetes. As a population, we are swimming in an ocean of artificially processed and manufactured food-like substances, highly loaded with sugar, high-fructose corn syrup, and inflammatory industrial seed oils. Insulin resistance is central to our chronic disease epidemic, including Alzheimer's. In response to this, Dr. Bredesen's team formulated a dietary program based on very good research that promoted insulin sensitivity, minimized inflammation, reduced obesity, improved cardiovascular status, helped optimize hormonal response, and thus improved cognition. Dr. Bredesen's anti-Alzheimer's diet, KetoFlex 12-3. See episodes 16, 48, 55, 60, 62, and 68. Those are linked below. Like we've discussed before, KetoFlex 12-3 is designed to get us into ketosis, the process in which our bodies break down and burn fat for energy as opposed to carbs. Thus, we start to fuel the brain with ketones. To promote ketosis, Dr. Bredesen wants us eating a low-carbohydrate diet, rich in healthy fats, moderate protein, and a lot of nutrient-dense vegetables. This switches our metabolisms from carb burning and insulin resistant to fat burning and insulin sensitive. In the first few steps to transition to this anti-Alzheimer's diet, Dr. Bredesen has had us start fasting 3 hours between dinner and bedtime, and then start fasting at least 12 hours between dinner and breakfast the following day. Then we've removed all inflammatory foods from our diets and homes, the big four being sugar, simple carbohydrates including ultra-processed foods, grains, and conventional dairy. Now, as far as what we can eat, on episode 68, we went over Dr. Bredesen's recommended brain-healthy carbs, his top 5 neuroprotective plant categories being colored vegetables, leafy greens, cruciferous vegetables, fruits, legumes, and fungi, and herbs and spices. Ideally, Dr. Bredesen would like us to eat at least 6 to 9 cups of these deeply pigmented, organic, and non-starchy vegetables per day, for an abundant intake of all of their healing and neuroprotective phytonutrients, fiber, and antioxidants. So what about protein now? Dr. Bredesen views animal protein as a side dish rather than the main course. We need protein for essential bodily functions, but studies like Dr. Walter Longo's recent research have pointed to relatively lower protein consumption in midlife as being associated with longevity. Many patients on the protocol have experienced great results targeting not exceeding 0.8 to 1 gram of animal protein per kilogram of lean body weight per day. The protein needs for each person are highly individualized, so be aware that specific groups of people may need more protein, especially those with GI issues or BMIs under 19. All plants have some amount of protein, so there's no need to limit our protein from the approved vegetables when used as whole foods. Because one of the primary objectives of the KetoFlex 12-3 diet is to reverse insulin resistance and maximize insulin sensitivity, animal protein is limited because of its effects on blood sugar. Too much animal protein can spike our blood sugar, and not all animal protein is created equal. Ancestrally, wild animals grazed the land and ate their natural diets, providing our ancestors with clean, healthy animal protein that was naturally lean and rich in nutrients. Now, much of the meat available in modern grocery stores comes from commercial animal feeding operations that house confined animals in unsanitary quarters, inject the animals with antibiotics and hormones, and get fed glyphosate-contaminated grains. All the resulting inflammation of the animal gets passed down to us when we eat it. Not great. For the purpose of reversal of cognitive decline, Dr. Bredesen prefers we prioritize clean animal proteins in adequate amounts. That means sourcing animals that have lived and eaten as close as possible to what their natural ancestral states would dictate. So, what animal proteins does Dr. Bredesen recommend? Fish, preferably wild-caught high in omega-3s from cold waters and low in mercury. Best options for these are salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring. Shellfish, crustaceans, and mollusks, wild-caught and rich in essential minerals. Best options being scallops, clams, mussels, and oysters. Eggs. The healthiest eggs come from the healthiest hens that roam free on open pasture. Pastured eggs have up to 13 times more omega-3 fatty acids, 70% more B12, 50% more folate, and almost double the levels of fat-soluble vitamins E and A than conventional eggs. The deeper orange yolks of these eggs reflect the hen's ability to consume their natural omnivorous diet, which includes grass, weeds, seeds, insects, and worms. Eggs are a nutritional powerhouse. Grass-fed red meat. Our goal here is to source 100% grass-fed meat from animals without exposure to antibiotics or growth hormones that graze on healthy pasture. Our best options are beef, lamb, bison, and pork. Those positive with the ApoE4 gene need to limit their red meat consumption. We'll dive deeper on that in future videos. Poultry. Ideally, Dr. Bredesen wants us to find 100% pastured chicken, duck, goose, or turkey for the same reasons as the pastured hens and eggs. Finding these is not easy, so the best bet is to speak directly to a farmer in your area. Now, which animal proteins are the most important for cognitive health? To Dr. Bredesen, wild-caught seafood and pastured eggs are the far and away winners. These two are exceptionally high in omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA, and the very important nutrient choline. Both of these are critical for raw memory formation support and maintaining and repairing the fat structure of the brain. More on DHA and choline later. So in conclusion, protein is important and essential to the maintenance of tissues, but to maximize insulin sensitivity, Dr. Bredesen wants us ideally to limit animal protein consumption to 0.8 to 1 gram per kilogram of lean body mass per day. And we preferably want to prioritize wild-caught seafood and pastured eggs for the highest brain nutrient content. So how about fat, where most of our calories will be coming from? That's for another video. For more in-depth details on KetoFlex 12.3, check out Dr. Bredesen's blog. I've linked a great article and his website so you can check it out. And also the website forum apoe4.info is another great resource for more details on everything KetoFlex 12.3 and anything Alzheimer's prevention and treatment related. And I'd love to hear from you. Has your neurologist ever spoken to you about protein and nutrition in general? What do you think of this video? Please drop me a comment. If you found this information helpful, please feel free to share this video with anyone you think it could serve, and please like and subscribe as it helps our community grow. And remember, I'm not a doctor, I don't have a PhD, I'm a caregiver and citizen researcher on the ground helping a loved one, someone just like you. This information is for educational purposes only. Please consult your medical practitioner before implementing any changes. Thank you for watching. My dad thanks you. Hope these resources are helpful to you and your family, and see you in the next video. Thanks.